This week on EV Rider, we're putting a new device to the test that brings Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to motorcycles. Electric motorcycles like this Zero SRF are among the most sophisticated bikes on the road. But here's the thing, despite all that, it doesn't have Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. But thankfully there is an easy aftermarket solution available. Ottocast sent me this review unit of its CarPlay Lite C5 motorcycle GPS with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Right out of the box, I got a good impression, seeing it's got 5G Wi-Fi for a fast, stable connection, an IPX7 waterproof rating for those unavoidable downpours all motorcyclists occasionally face. Now, setting up the Ottocast is really easy. The very first thing you're going to do is mount it to either your handlebar or another location. So for example, if for some reason your handlebar was full up with other devices such as your smartphone and whatever else you might have, they also give you an adapter that you could go ahead and thread right here by your mirror. But I'm going to go ahead and put it smack in the center of my handlebar. Now every motorcycle is going to be different, but in the case of my Zero, I'm going to go ahead and mount it right here. Now Ottocast also gives you a sleeve, which I think is a nice touch. And now I've got that through so you can sort of see what it looks like. Now I'm also using the spacer because my handlebars aren't overly thick. The kit also comes with washers, so you've got pretty much a perfect fit here. So just go ahead and hand tighten this for starters. Here is the primary connector that goes on the two sides. You just go ahead, slide it in, loosen it up, and then you can start hand tightening it. And then you'll be able to start working on it till you get exactly the position that you want for your bike. Now once you've got the main bracket where you want it, tightening it is as simple as using a household adjustable wrench. Now that we've got the Ottocast mounted, the next thing is wiring it up. And if you've got a modern motorcycle with USBs, it couldn't be simpler. In the case of my Zero, of course, because it's an EV, it's got basically a trunk. So all I have to do is literally just plug it on in and shut the trunk. If I did it right, I should be able to turn on the ignition switch, and now I should have power. So let's go ahead and turn this puppy on and see if it worked. It should take a minute to go ahead and boot up. And there you can see it's booting right up. The Ottocast is also easy to set up. All you really have to do, you go into settings, and what you do, you pick your smartphone. So you've got choices here. In my case, I'm Android Auto, but if you had Apple CarPlay, you would select that. And depending on where you live in the world, you might also have Huawei HiCar, although that's not popular here in the US. So once you've done that, basically the connection process is pretty close to automatic, and it's going to vary a little bit between each phone, but once you've connected it, all you do is go ahead and select it and it's going to fire right up, no problem. If you don't have a Bluetooth system on your motorcycle, you're still covered because it does indeed have a speaker built in. So as you can see here, we'll go ahead and we'll start up a video, and obviously never do this while you're actually riding your motorcycle. This is just for an example. So as you can hear, it's right there, although I'll say even at its highest level, it's not all that loud, so I wouldn't want to try to listen to music with its native speaker on the highway. You really wouldn't hear it. Ideally, you're definitely going to want to use Bluetooth. For those of you that may not be familiar with Android Auto, if you ever want to exit it and get back to the main screen, the home screen, you just go ahead and hit exit. And there you are, you're back there at home, and you can see, for example, you could go ahead and boost your system volume if you wanted to. You could also boost the navigation volume. Now you can of course go ahead and adjust your brightness, your contrast, and so on. We will be taking a ride on the bike, but I can tell you first impressions outside, it looks like it will indeed be bright enough, but we'll go ahead and hook up the helmet cam and take a ride and just make sure that it is indeed bright enough. I'm on my inaugural ride with the Ottocast, and I'm happy to report that it's nice and bright. I can see it no problem. Hopefully the camera is picking it up as well. you'll find that this touchscreen does work with motorcycle gloves, or at least it's working with the gloves that I have on. I've got a pair of Tour Masters on, and as you can see, I can go ahead and change right back over to the split screen mode, no problem. So I can say that the Ottocast is working exactly as I would hope it would. I'm finding it to be every bit as intuitive as any version of Android Auto can be, and I am happy to see that it does work with gloves, no problem whatsoever. So again, looking down while I'm at a red light, you can see I can just go ahead and move around as I see fit. Whenever you turn on your motorcycle, which I'm doing now, it will automatically boot up along with your motorcycle's display. So it might take a minute, but you'll see it boot up. There it is. You can see the boot up process has started. I'm going to go ahead and let this go the whole way through so you can get a real sense of how long it takes. As you can see, it's already gotten to the main screen. It's now loading data for Android Auto in my case, and it will go ahead and detect my Android Auto automatically, which is wireless, and as you can see, there it is, and it even remembered to resume my music exactly where I left it. Another thing I like about this unit is they've thought about theft prevention. So what they've done, they've made it so it's pretty easy for me to pop this out and take it with me. There's a quick release screw in the back, and you just loosen that up, and once you've done that, you can go ahead and pop this out. So as you can see, it's super easy to either take with you, lock in your trunk, put in your top box or your lockable saddlebags, so you don't have to worry about the darn thing being stolen when you're off the bike. And when you're ready to go ahead and get going again, it just snaps in nice and easy. It's got a snap in the back, and then it's got that screw, and that screw, by the way, actually attaches to the back of the unit, so you don't have to worry about the possibility that if you hit a pothole in the interstate that this thing's going to go flying off somewhere. That same screw can be tightened with a screwdriver to the point that it can't be removed by hand if you decide to leave the unit in its protective mounting case. I'm pretty impressed with the flexibility of the Ottocast. Whether you've got a modern EV with a USB nearby, or you need to go ahead and wire it directly into your 12-volt battery on an older motorcycle, they've got all that covered. And the mounting options that they've got, I can't really imagine a situation where you wouldn't be able to find a place up front on just about any motorcycle that's going to be a nice solid mount to keep this safe. Now, the Ottocast is truly an integrated entertainment system. So what it has that's really valuable is it does have Bluetooth connectivity with your headphone system in your helmet. So in my case, I've got a Sena 50C, and what I can do is transfer everything from the Android Auto on the Ottocast to the Sena. I'll go ahead and show you real quick. There's a Bluetooth connection. Now, I'm not going to do a specific setup procedure because setup procedures are going to vary just a little bit. So just go ahead and check whatever device you have, their Bluetooth setup directions. So just to give you a quick idea of how you would go ahead and pair this, you would just first off go back to the main menu. And so you would go to exit, and now you can see you're back in the main menu, and there it is. Headset Bluetooth. So you just go ahead and follow the directions. Android Auto voice commands also worked as expected via the Bluetooth setup with my Sena, meaning there's a lot you'll be able to do hands-free during a ride. You also get a micro SD slot, so if you wanted to go ahead and put your music collection on the device itself, no problem. For any of you with an EV motorcycle or any motorcycle that might be interested in the Ottocast to buy, I'll go ahead and throw a link in the description field and on the web at evrider.tv in the story post. And if you've got any questions that I haven't already answered, feel free to drop them in the comments section of the YouTube channel of this video, and I'll certainly do my best to answer your questions. Ottocast provided EV Rider with the CarPlay Lite C5 featured in this review, but did not have any editorial input into this video's production, nor did it see an advance copy of the video. EV Rider's editorial policy regarding review units is linked in the description field of this video on YouTube and in the story at evrider.tv on the web for anyone that would like to review it. If you found this review of the Ottocast useful, please go ahead and give this video a like. Hit that notification bell and subscribe to the EV Rider YouTube channel so I can continue to bring you reviews like this one and more adventures in electric motorcycling, cars, and just about anything else with a motor in it. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.